What is going on, everybody? It is Two Nerds Are Better Than One. I am Ron Deasy, and I got my buddy here with me.
Mr. Awesome.
Yes, sir. And we have made it, guys. We had hopefully made it to the end of Secret Invasion, and let's just jump right into it. I'm losing hope like I lost hope for DC with with these Marvel Disney Plus series.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah, it was just we're gonna jump right into it. So episode 6, we leave off with episode 5. Nick Fury puts his patch back on. He gets the harvest, which is supposed to be all of the Avenger, or all, yeah, I guess we could say all the Avengers that were on in game on the battlefield.
Opens all his secret compartments in a graveyard.
Yep. And he's gonna meet Gravik and give him the capsule. So we see that what was cool is that you could see like all the and you know what? It wasn't just the Avengers. It was a lot of Marvel characters. Because you had the Abomination on there. You had Proxima something, which was
Proxima Midnight.
Yeah. Which was Thanos' Black Order crew. Yeah. I think that was the lady, right? So you have a lot of people on there. They find out it's in this capsule.
What was weird though about some of the people on there, I noticed because I went through it, I wanted to see all the different things that were on there just to kind of go through all the powers she had and stuff, because some of them didn't make sense to me. And Ghost is on there.
Ghost is on there,
and so is Abomination, and they weren't in the battle that he's talking about. So I don't know if they were just going for names that people knew, or it's just. It's weird, man.
Yeah, what's funny, and what's interesting about Ghost. So I've been keeping up.
She's gonna be one of the Thunderbolts, which is cool.
Yeah, so that's what I was gonna bring up. So Ghost was supposed to be part of the Thunderbolt, and then she wasn't going to be in there, and then I think they finalized it that she's going to be in there.
She should be in there. She'd be a cool Thunderbolt.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah. So the episode was cool until the fight was like,
Yeah, the fight was. Yeah, I agree. There was a lot of CG mishaps in there, and then there was some really cool CG stuff in there. So.
Right. So people that follow the Secret Invasion comics, I didn't read the whole thing, but I know that when it comes to the Super Skrull, the Skrulls are supposed to be connected to Fantastic Four, mostly. And the Super Skrull is supposed to get the Fantastic Four, all 4 of them, abilities. But in this one, they just get, Marvel's, the MCU's characters' abilities, which I was fine with. But what happens is that you think Nick Fury is giving it, and it's actually what's her name?
It's Gaia.
Gaia. I was gonna say Mia.
Were you fooled? Did you think it was Fury the whole time?
I did. I was like, is he a Skrull? But then it was
what's so funny is the only reason that you believe he would actually walk into that is because the writing in this show is so shitty. Yeah. That they would put him in that position because of how they already nerfed him. But no, I did not think it was him. I will say though, props to Gaia for acting. She acted like she was affected by radiation. Even the part where she gets all the way in there and like drops the pills.
Oh yeah, she was struggling.
Like, wow, that's pretty good. But I'm like, there's no way it's him. There's no way he's that stupid. There's just no way. But I feel like if this show was really well written and it was good from beginning to end, you wouldn't have thought that was Fury.
Yeah,
I do. I don't think you would have. What do you think? Do you actually, if the show was well written and made sense to the whole thing, which it hasn't, do you think that would have been Fury?
I thought so, because I thought he, because Fury, throughout Fury's timeline.
Like, how about if what I mean is, if Fury was actually like the Fury he's supposed to be, would you have thought that he would have done that?
Yeah, because I would have thought he had a backup plan.
Okay.
I thought he would have had a backup plan. I thought he would have probably injected himself already with the stuff, something. So I was like, he has to have. He's probably a step ahead of Gravik.
Okay.
Because there ain't no way he's gonna go in there sick like that.
Yeah.
And just like a suicide mission.
Okay.
We know he's living because he's in the Marvels. So I was like, he has to have a backup plan. So that's what I thought.
Okay.
So when he caught the punch, I was like, oh, is he a Skrull or did he already inject himself? Did Miss Marvel give him powers? What's going on here? While he was on Saber, did he do something? What happened? But I will say Gravik's performance,
very good.
He was like, yeah, you know why I wear this face? You know why I wear this? This was the first team I killed. You sent me to kill him. I was like, oh, okay.
That was actually really well done, screaming in his face, and he was like, look at me. I was like, oh, shit. Got a
little Joker moment there. Joker
moment. A little bit, right? Yeah, I was
look at me.
Yeah, look at me.
But, yeah, Gravik's moment was pretty cool. Yeah. But then, yeah, like I said, I thought Fury had something up his sleeve. Like, he knew something that Gravik didn't.
Okay.
That's what I thought. But it was Gaia. And, which I totally forgot about her.
Really?
I totally forgot about her, yeah.
I knew they were going to make her win that fight. I knew it.
I totally forgot she was in the series. Like, I think, was she in the last episode?
Yeah.
What was she doing?
She was actually talking to Fury beforehand, before he went out. Yeah.
Okay.
And she said when she goes to see Gravik, she's going to put on a good face or something like that.
I got it. Yeah, that was I totally missed that. Went over my head. Didn't connect it to. But yeah, the fight could have been great.
Yeah.
It could have been great.
Yeah.
And I know I was reading on like the blogs and everything and some videos, and they're saying how like it was kind of random how she used Mantis powers. And it was like, how did she know to use Mantis powers?
Well, here's the thing. So the only thing that I could think of, because Nick Fury made a call right before the end of the episode.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we're kind of writing the show for them at this point. But at the same time, I'm pretty sure he called Gaia.
Yeah.
I would assume. Because the woman was already with him that he was making the plans with. She was right there with him. There's no reason to call her. She's right there. So the only other person I could think he would call is Gaia. Right. And maybe it was to go over a plan. If maybe he didn't figure out exactly what the plan would be, but he's basically, this is all the DNA you can use. Figure out the best way to take, because Gravik might not have even known everything, and he might not have known that he was going to get in that situation right off the bat, right? She goes in there knowing that my plan is to become a Super Skrull and use all these powers to beat Gravik. Right? Gravik doesn't initially actually have this plan, right? He just sees Fury coming at him and all that, and he's already got a few Skrull powers. So if she had prep time to plan the fight, it's possible that she could have beat Gravik. Right? If she's like, if I can get him into a point where he's got me close, I can use the Mantis power to get him down. If she knew all the powers that were in the lineup, that I can believe.
Yeah, and that's what other people said too. That Fury prepped her. So hey, these are the people here. This person has this power. This person has this power.
Yeah, it's like prep time Batman. No one can beat prep time Batman.
Yeah, and which some of them didn't make sense. I was kind of confused why she used like Drax's arm.
Yeah, it was just for show.
Yeah, when there was like the Hulk, they had the Hulk's powers.
She had the Hulk arm at first, though, right? Wasn't that the first thing she did when she wound up the punch? Wasn't that a Hulk arm?
I think so. Yeah.
Did you see? I went through all the things, kind of slow-moing some things. And did you see the Hulk kick?
Yeah.
With the jeans?
Yeah, the jeans. I was like, did I just see that? Did they? It's like let's stick this in here. It's gonna be like less than a second. It's gonna be literally like what's it called when you do video? I forget what it's called.
Freeze frame or whatever.
Yeah, a frame. Yeah, it's gonna be one frame rate. Yeah, it's gonna be one frame rate. That you gotta catch it. But yeah, the ripped purple. Were they purple too?
I think they were. It was a deep cut. It was
right. Yeah, but the fight could have been better.
Wasn't Nick Cage Superman deep cut, but it was deep cut.
Right. It could have been better. I don't like how she beat him. What's cool is that
Well, you think about I know you may not have liked how she beat him, but at the same time, if they both had the same powers and it was raw strength, she might have lost. It's possible. She had to use more of like basically, how do you put it? I guess brain over brawn, basically. Yeah. I think that's the only way she could have won that fight. So it makes sense to me.
What I do appreciate though is like when she was using certain powers like Mantis and when she was using Ms. Marvel's, she really did like
and Ghost.
Character and Ghost, yeah, she really did like the character movement. So when she was like hovering in the air with as Ms. Marvel's power, she looked like how Ms. Marvel's pose was.
And they made sure to make that look as good as possible since the Marvels was coming out. That part looked really good.
Right.
Even in the end, man, you could see like her glowing and Gravik's dead eyes.
Right.
Like it was really, it was pretty cool.
And I remember last episode we're talking about you couldn't figure out the people from Iron Man 3.
Oh yeah, extremists.
So that's what they're called. So anyways, so that fight was mediocre. Could have been better.
Definitely.
And then we find out, where Rhodey is at.
And you don't even get to you know what? Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but to know what else bothered me about that fight, you don't really get to hear it much. It's like all this music going on through it.
Right.
You don't really feel it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like usually when you see a fight, there's not actually a ton of music going on. You just hear these hits and these crunches and bangs and booms, right? You don't really get that too much with this background music going at the same time,
Yeah. So then we find where the people who are captured. So we find Rhodey, who's probably like the most noticeable one. And the rumor is that he's been in there since Civil War.
There is a rumor about that. Nothing's been confirmed at all.
Nothing's confirmed, but that what leads to, and that's what makes sense because he has the robe that he wore in Civil War.
And I think that's dumb, to be honest. The fact that he had a robe means it was after Civil War. It doesn't mean that.
It's a doctor's, the medical robe.
Yeah, but medical robes, they all look pretty much the same. So, I mean, it could have been any time he was in a hospital. The fact is you had to get to him when he was weak, when he wasn't wearing the armor. That's for sure, right? Not when he's around the military and all that stuff. So that I get. But did it happen right after Civil War? I don't think so. I think it happened sometime during the blip. I definitely don't think it happened after the blip. I think it happened sometime during the blip. But did it happen at Civil War? That's hard speculation. Now, at some point, we're going to know. I mean, because Armor Wars is coming, and I'm sure they're going to address it. If they don't, I mean, they're already pissing off people, so I guess it's possible. But you're going to have a lot of pissed off people if you don't explain what you just did. You did that intentionally. I mean, I have to assume you're not that stupid that you didn't at least do that part intentionally. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And yeah, you're getting people talking, which I'm sure that's what you want to do, right? So whether it's good or bad, people are talking about your show. For sure they're talking about your show right now.
Right.
So, but just because you're wearing a robe, that doesn't mean it happened that time. But I see why people are going with that. Though.
Yeah. And so then we cut to where the president is being rushed out with the they call him Scrody.
Okay.
That's what they're calling him. It's Skrull and Rhodey together.
The name is Rava, but yeah, it's
so they call him
Scrody. I like Scrody.
Yeah, Skrull and Rhodey together. So I forget her name. The maybe the best character in the show. What's the girl in the red?
Oh man, I can't remember now either. I think it's
like
Sonia or something.
Yeah, she makes a call to Rhodey. Say, hey, yeah, Nick Fury's coming to assassinate the president. And so she gets the president out the room that he's in, and you see all the guards going down. And you're like, okay, it doesn't sound like a gunshot. It sounds like a suppressor, but you find out it's like darts. They're tranquilizers.
Yeah. Oh, her name. I think her name is Fallsworth. I think that's her name.
Okay. And so we get to it where there's a standoff with her, Rhodey, and the president, and the president is Nick Fury is convincing the president like, yo, like that's a Skrull right there, and the president's like, it kind of makes sense because he's like, yeah, Rhodey's been gung ho about trying to attack the Russians, Like it kind of makes sense. And
he
he's
told that
like,
woman, "Did you just take a stupid pill this morning?"
Right.
I was like, "All right, great writing."
Right. So, Fury ends up shooting Rhodey and finds out it's a scroll, and President makes a call and said, "Call off the attack." And but at the end of the episode, he goes back to Saber, and his wife comes with him, which I thought was adorable. You know, so I guess we go into the Marvels right after this.
Yeah. Well, let's not forget though. You're skipping a little bit here. So, yes, Fury does go on the ship and everything, but the president goes on TV, national television, and calls out all of Earth's trespassers, not just Skrulls, any type of species that is not human, doesn't belong on this planet anymore, and will be taken care of with extreme prejudice.
And it's unclear if that even includes the Asgardians.
Yeah, exactly. But you would think it would. And also, there are attacks being held out by just random, activists to take out these Skrulls. And one is one that actually was a Skrull. He was like that news pundit guy. But another one was already brought back and replaced with the real person, and they killed a real human on accident. I don't know if you noticed that or not.
No, who are you talking about?
It was one of the women. I don't remember which one, but she was like at a pundit thing talking, and they just shot her up like right there.
Oh yeah,
and she wasn't bleeding purple.
Right.
She didn't turn into a Skrull.
It was because they were doing it real quick. Yeah,
right, but right. It's important. You know, that's something crazy that's going on, and they tried to attack that other Skrull that got away, the one that didn't want to go along with anything, and she wrecked all those dudes. I thought that was actually one of the coolest parts in the actual finale, dude. She shot like two of them like straight in the head, and they showed that like right on Disney Plus. I'm like, okay, so they're trying to make the line a little bit more brutal than it's been before, which is a little bit of a good sign for Daredevil, because Daredevil is a lot more. Beat him up. So that makes me a little bit more optimistic about Daredevil coming to Disney Plus. But yeah, then you're right. Marvels is coming up next.
Not Loki, right?
I can't
they
remember.
Haven't even showed any trailers of Loki yet. So yeah, it must be the Marvels.
I'll have to look it up to double check, because I know they've been working on Loki season 2 for a while. It's possible it might come out before the end of the year, but I thought it got pushed back.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Look it up.
The writers strike and everything.
Yeah,
but yeah,
but Marvels comes out in November, I think. Yeah.
So to rank this is not the worst Marvel movie. I don't think nothing could be worse than Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel wasn't that bad. Did you even finish it?
I did.
You did?
I did. It was so painful too. Like, I think I didn't even watch like the whole. I think I fast forward like.
Oh man, I thought the writing was a little bit better in this or in Miss Marvel than it was in this freaking show.
So it's definitely not the worst. Definitely not the best. Not even. How many Marvel shows we have? 7.
There's a lot of Marvel shows, man.
So yeah, there's a lot. We'll say it's in the middle. I'll say it's in the middle, closer to the bottom.
Give it a score.
Because it's a disappointment. It's a disappointment because we have
Mr. Deasy. Give it a score.
I will. I'm gonna tell you my score. I'm gonna tell you why I lost points. Right. It's the storyline, the comic storyline is such a great storyline, and we get this adaptation, and it's such a disappointment. We get
there was even a cartoon adaptation of it, which I saw. Yeah. I didn't actually read the comic story adaptation, but I did watch the cartoon one on I think it was Avengers or Its Mightiest Heroes.
Yeah,
and it was pretty good.
That show was actually pretty good.
Yeah, this was shit compared to that, and that was a cartoon.
So we get a poor adaptation. We kind of knew that Fantastic Four was gonna make no appearance, or there wasn't gonna be no connection.
No.
Nick Fury is not the Nick Fury we know. Gravik is cool. He's probably maybe Can I say the best villain in these series, the Disney Plus series?
In the Disney Plus series?
Can I say that?
I'd have to think about that.
It's either between I think he's probably like the best villain in this Disney Plus series. I'm gonna hold that. I'm gonna hold that for him. Okay. Yeah. So with all that being said, I give it a score of I want to know what I gave Miss Marvel a score, because I'll put that a little bit higher, like a 0.5 higher. So let's just say I give Miss Marvel a 5. I'm giving this a 5.7. I don't think it deserves a 6, so 5.7.
Okay.
Your turn.
Oh, I think it's a 4, if that.
Ooh, I'm being nice, so
I'm not being nice about this one, man.
It's below Miss Marvel. It's below Miss Marvel.
I like Miss Marvel. I didn't think it was that bad. I mean, I didn't give it a great score.
My question is it below Miss Marvel?
Yes.
Wow.
It's definitely below Miss Marvel. I enjoyed Miss Marvel, so
what shouldn't
surprise you that much.
Is this the worst one then?
Yeah.
For you?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they really fucked this one up, in my opinion.
All right, that's your effort for this episode.
Sorry, I forgot.
We get one each episode.
I'm such a jerk.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Unless you want to take mine.
I'll gladly give it to you. On accident, I might, but no, I really think they messed this one up a lot, and they had a bunch of source material to go with. There are a lot of things they could have done better. And I don't even feel like there was that much of like, man, are they a Skrull? Are they not? There wasn't as much of that as I was hoping there would be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like there was. First,
go ahead.
The first 3 episodes makes you think that. By the end, definitely like the last 2, you're like, yeah. You don't care who's like, you forget like the whole Skrull thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they kind of give it all away. There's no mystery anymore. You know exactly where they are. You know what they're doing. You know where they're placed. It's just like, okay. You could have slowly introduced these characters in their natural wherever they are, right? But you don't really reveal that they're Skrulls or not. And some of them would have been human, and some of them wouldn't have been. That would have been really cool. Like that's actually what happened in the cartoon. You find out like one of the biggest Avengers turns out to be a Skrull in that cartoon. It was like, what? I didn't see that coming at all. You know what I mean? I would have loved that. And I mean, you saw Rhodey coming too, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Because you get Rhodey from
Scrody.
Yeah. Rhodey from when's the last time we saw Rhodey? Was Rhodey in any other Marvel series? Was he in Cap?
He was America in Falcon and Winter Soldier. Yeah, he was talking to him in the beginning. I remember that.
Yeah. So if you look at Rhodey there and Rhodey now, you see there's a drastic change. Like it's like he's against any Avenger, or any Avenger in this one. So you see there's a drastic change. So you kind of like but then like you never really see Rhodey and Fury talk to each other at all.
No, you don't.
The only hint, like closest thing you get is Ultron, the Ultron Avenger movie, when they're at the end when Fury's in the helicarrier and he calls in Rhodey to help out.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only time you see them talk to each other throughout this whole MCU,
right?
I believe. Yeah, but anyways.
Yeah, it's really disappointing too. Sorry to cut you off again, but I just thought of something else. Like, it's really disappointing. Like, if this is what it is, that means that Rhodey was a Skrull for, if it says Civil War, which I don't think it was, but let's just say it was, or it was sometime during the blip, early in the blip, like maybe 1 year into the blip. Tony Stark is going through something huge, and Rhodey is like his best friend. Right?
Mm-hmm.
If he's a Skrull, I mean, he must have, unless you're like the coldest person in the world, you must develop some sort of a kinship with these people. You know what I mean? And you just don't get to see any of it, which just kind of stinks. I think that'd be another interesting thing they could have done with it. You know, maybe they're, I don't know. I guess some of them kind of grew to like humans, right? Like that one lady didn't even want to do it.
Right.
But Rhodey, I just would have thought of anybody going through everything with the Avengers and all that stuff. If he was a Skrull, might have developed a little. I don't know. Everybody's different though, so.
Yeah. So there's definitely some plot holes left open. So like NATO, you know, all of NATO.
Yeah, you were talking about that, and they didn't do nothing.
Yeah, they're all Skrulls. Then you know, we find out there's millions of Skrulls, and then even one of the Avengers was a Skrull. So you're like, okay, who else could be a Skrull from the Avengers?
Oh yeah, that's right. The Fallsworth goes with Gaia to a whole nother facility, which I don't even know how she found out about this facility. But yeah, it's got like a ton of Skrulls or a ton of humans in there that Skrulls have taken over their bodies. That's crazy to me.
So I hope what happens is that they don't just rush past it. Like whatever, if it's in the Marvels, I hope they don't just like, oh yeah, we found out who's Skrull, who's not, and then that's it. That's all they how they address it. I hope they could span it out, like over the course of movies or series, you actually find out who's a Skrull and who's not. I hope they just don't just bypass it. Like what they do off the screen, like how they do off the screen death in some movies.
Yeah.
I hope they don't do like an off the screen like conclusion. Like, oh yeah, we found out who's Skrull, who's not. We got a list. We went to that facility that Gaia went to. We found out who's a Skrull, who's not. I hope they don't do that. I hope over the course of the series and whatever they tell us, like eventually.
Who knows? Maybe that's what the Thunderbolts will work on.
Could be, yeah. That'll be good. Because I don't know if there's any rumors of who the Thunderbolts nemesis.
There's nothing. There really hasn't been much, but that would be a good. I mean, that would make sense. You know, you got to have an elite team to take out, you know, a super species. I think that would be pretty interesting because Skrulls on their own are pretty strong. So, yeah. I mean, you saw Talos was able to break that window open with his bare hand. And that's like a bulletproof window. You know?
And being shot and dying at the same time.
Yeah.
Break it open. So, so sad that Talos is gone too.
Yeah, that was a bummer. I'm not
Talos, Maria.
I told you Guy wasn't gonna die.
Yeah. So
and she became the leader of the Skrulls.
What else we got going on?
I wanted to talk to you about something because you bring up Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Did you see the newest Mortal Kombat trailer, the Umgadi one, the Lee May trailer?
Is that the one where she's in like a trailer with talking to Liu Kang and she gets ambushed by Rico and
Tanya
Montaro? Oh, is it Tanya or is it Jade?
Tanya, I believe, and Baraka's in it too.
Oh yeah. Also Melina. Oh yeah. So that's one thing. They change it to where Baraka is supposed to have like a race, the Tarkin or whatever.
Yeah, Tarkov or something like that.
Tarkov, yeah. So it's supposed to be a race.
Yeah.
Right, in the original storyline. But now it's supposed to be a disease.
Yeah, they're a victim of a disease.
That him and I think Melina also gets.
Yeah. It disfigures and debilitates. That's what he says in the trailer.
Which I'm not mad at. But it could kind of flow together. Because that could be how the race started.
Yeah.
From a disease.
No, I think it's cool. But I wasn't actually talking about the story. There was something else that interests me. I don't know if you noticed in the trailer, but a lot of the moves, when they did specific moves, synced specifically to the music. Like, perfectly.
I didn't catch that.
If you watch it again, I want you to take a look at it, because... I know you never played Killer Instinct 2013.
No,
but
I did.
You did play Killer Instinct 2013.
I love that game.
Well, did you notice that like a lot of times when you hit moves in that game, they sunk to the music?
Yeah, definitely.
Dude, I think they might do that in Mortal Kombat. Most things are very deliberate in trailers, when they're put in there, you know. So, I really hope they do that. I didn't know if you noticed it or not, but
I didn't. I gotta go back now.
In the newest trailer, anyway, the Umgadi trailer, it kind of did it in the Smoke trailer too, a little bit, but not as perfectly as this one did. So I don't know if they were working on the formula or if it's just a coincidence. But man, it would be so cool if they did what KI 2013 did with the music syncing up.
I think, speaking of Killer Instinct, I know we're talking about Mortal Kombat. I think that game was underrated.
Killer
I think
Instinct.
it's yeah.
Yeah, I have it. I just
2013.
haven't booted it up yet, but I bought it. I actually have it.
Yeah. I played it again once they released one of the Battle Toads in there.
Okay.
Because I love the Battle Toads.
Yeah, it was Rash, right?
Yeah, I think it could have been, yeah. But yeah, I don't think the game got the push that they like it could have.
No, they never got the full support of.
Yeah,
You know, it went through a lot of stuff too.
It was kind of hard because that's like one of the first releases for the Xbox One.
Yeah, and it wasn't treated as a AAA release. And back then too, like, you know, what was it like? What did they call it? Oh man, I can't. It was some sort of program they had though for like more like indie games. You know, I think it might have been Games for Xbox Live or something like that it was called. But Xbox Live Arcade maybe.
Might have been. Could be.
But it came out as like a non-even disc release, and it had this weird. At that time, it was very weird how they priced it, because back then games weren't really, a lot of free to play were like just like had a huge stigma, you know, where they were just gonna nickel and dime you for everything, and the way that they showed their pricing structure looked like, well, you can buy one character, or you can buy them all. Or you
That's
can buy
right.
And everyone was freaking out. Nobody understood that they had like the most flexible pricing structure, and instead they thought they were going to charge them hundreds of dollars for all these characters.
You're right. They did do that. I think that was a turnoff. Yeah.
But back then, it was unheard of to do that in a fighting game or anything like that. Now it's like all standard. You know, most games do that, but back then, it was really weird. So I think that's another reason that kind of messed it up.
But yeah, I gotta go back and look at that Mortal Kombat trailer to see about the sync music. I know that what was most noticeable is the cameos, the reboot, like I guess they're calling a soft reboot, and the air combos now. I think the last game that had the air combos was Mortal Kombat 3 or Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3.
There's like juggles in most Mortal Kombats, but it's not the same. Yeah, there was real like air mobility. Yeah. Like, dude, when I saw Baraka, looks fun to play.
Baraka's always been my character.
He never really interests me. He doesn't really look that fun to play most times, but he's got like air mobility. He was doing like flips with his blades in the air, and like, dude, he did this one move. I was losing my. You probably were too as a Baraka fan. They grabbed the person and then just started stabbing them a bunch of times right on top, and then threw him on the ground. I was like, damn. What if after he did that, he had like an EX version where he threw him on the ground, but it bounced him back up? You could do some more stuff to them, or throw a cameo out when they bounce back up and extend it. Oh man, my brain was doing all sorts of crazy. You know me, fighting games. If you could think it, you can do it. That's what I love. And Mortal Kombat doesn't usually let you do that, so it makes me really excited for this one.
Right. Yeah, but I guess we have to wait for Ms. Marvel, right? And see how they're doing. But I know a lot of people are losing hope for these MCU series,
and with good reason.
Good reason, yeah.
You know, I'm watching them just to watch them at this point. You know, because there are some cool parts to most of them, but they're getting less and less cooler.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if they need to extend the episodes or if Kevin Feige needs to put his hand more into this, and
he's definitely stretched thin.
Yeah, he's definitely stretched thin. So, yeah. Well,
and I don't know if even more episodes is going to help. I think it's the writing. I mean, a lot of these moments that were supposed to be dramatic, it's like, why did you say that? That just sounds stupid. Like, I don't know. I think you need better writers, to be honest. I think you need to get more creative storytellers than what you have now. I mean, you'd almost think that thing was written on ChatGPT.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly. I mean, do you think that was a really well written, even when they were doing all the dialogue? I mean, a lot of it had me like, why? I mean, what about you?
Yeah, I think Nick Fury's character really dropped the quality of, because it wasn't Nick Fury anymore. He's saying these things that you've never seen him say, and you know, it was kind of cool seeing him see his soft side with his wife,
right?
But at the same time, the soft side with
the wife in general bothered me, but actually his moments with his wife didn't bother me that much. That actually wasn't so bad. It was the other parts that were bothering me.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the wife, the soft, his vulnerable side with his wife, along with him being vulnerable in general now. It just like, it was a double whammy. You're like, this is hurting.
Like half of the conversation with Talos was good, and then half of it was like, what the?
Right.
I don't want to take your F word. What the heck are you talking about? Like,
right.
So it's like, they need. I don't think longer episodes or better budgets are going to help them. They need better writers.
Right.
That's just how it is to me at this point.
Yep. So tell us what you guys think in the comments. We will be back next week with some other topics. Like we'll talk about like our favorite cartoons in our childhood. I know we've been meaning to do that.
Oh yeah, but anyways, I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, thank you guys for the people who subscribe. Tell your friends, share it, and you know, keep up with us. But this is Two Nerds Are Better Than One. I'm Ron DZ. I got my homie right here,
Mr. Awesome.
We'll see you guys later. Bye.
All right, later, guys.